Cats are famously enigmatic, so it's tough to figure out what they're feeling by looking at their faces. Happy cat, angry cat, sad cat. Or is that the sad cat? We may not be able to figure out what our cats are feeling, but can science shed any light on it?
Historically, cats aren't seen as very expressive, so there is that idea that they are particularly cold when it comes to interacting with us.
Compare that to a dog whose face seems full of expression. Empathy, happiness, sadness, guilt. Why aren't cats just as communicative?
They're not really able to frown or have that sad sort of puppy dog eye expression. They don't seem to have the right musculature for that.
Dogs and humans have evolved the levator anguli oculi medialis muscle, responsible for raising the inner eyebrow, which we use for showing things like sadness and concern. But cats don't have this muscle. So cats are physically incapable of having faces as expressive as dogs. However, Dr. Finker's research suggests that cats can communicate some emotion on their faces. It's just we don't speak the language.
So we know that the muscles of the cat's face are quite different from other species and certainly from humans. They use the muscles in different ways and they also have different types of muscles, and different collections of muscles will do different things.
Dr. Finker studies how cats' faces change when illness or injury produces pain. This is the only feeling she can currently say with confidence that a cat is experiencing.
We are looking at cats when they come into the vets with a painful condition, and we do know that they're actually changing their expressions in relation to how they're feeling and if they're in pain.
She's identified a set of incredibly subtle markers to help track their feelings.
We have a series of 48 facial coordinates, and we can actually look to see how these coordinates are altering based on what the cat's experiencing, so whether they're in pain or not in pain, or whether they're relaxed and comfortable, or perhaps fearful or frustrated.
Dr. Finker has identified some telltale signs, such as a cat's ears turning very slightly outwards and down, or a tiny reduction in the distance between the cheeks, mouth and nose region. These are all signs that the cat is not happy and in pain. But if you think this is going to usher in a new age of cat-human communication, think again.
It's very, very subtle. So statistically, it's significant, but in terms of the average cat owner trying to look at their cat's face, it might be a little bit more problematic.
It looks like our struggle to read cats' emotions isn't going away anytime soon. But could a cat read our emotions? To find out, researchers in the US conducted a series of cognitive behavioural tests.
Because it's quite difficult to test cats, we know a lot less about their cognitive abilities compared to dogs. Doesn't mean that they don't necessarily have the same level of skills and abilities. It just means that it's much harder for us to find the right context to test them in and get them to play ball in the way that we need them to.
Peppa the cat has been placed in a room with her handler, who pulls various faces at her. First up, scowling. Can Peppa detect that this is a negative emotion and steer clear? It appears cats are less likely to react positively to someone they know if they have an angry expression. Next, a positive, smiling face. By running the test multiple times, scientists compiled statistics suggesting that a cat is more likely to approach someone they recognise if they are smiling at it.
What the research suggests is that they are able to differentiate between our different expressions, and they're using this information to change the way that they are responding.
The research also suggested that cats react more strongly to both the positive and negative emotions of their owners than to those of strangers.
The behaviour of owners is much more important to the cat because we're the ones that feed the cat and we look after them. So maybe they're more interested in paying attention to us for that reason.